down, just like lack of oxygen. Like I couldn't get, I was gasping for get some air, and I just went completely unconscious in the bathroom. And from what I understand is that in the bar here, they thought there was a large fight going on in the bathroom because the garbage can was still beating up against the walls and stuff like that. And they came in there, found me laying on the floor, and observed the garbage can beaten up against the wall. And they called the paramedics. The paramedics got here, and they revived me with smelling salts. And when they revived me, I came up fighting on the defensive side. I'm not dying. I mean, you know, I'm dying. I'm not dying.
Because of die game.
Because of that word, die game. Yeah.
Impressed in your mind.
And you know, they said, calm down, calm down. They checked my vital signs and everything, and I was okay. And they stayed with me, and I got up on my feet, and I walked out of the bathroom, and I want to get outside. So I got outside of the bar, and I was standing there, and I did not know what to say. I mean, I didn't know how to explain myself to anybody, but Larry Hornsby was the chief of security at the time here. And I told Larry Hornsby what had happened, and I made sure nobody else heard me. And Larry just yelled, "Hey, go get Doug Hensley, the author of the book Hell's Gate." And Doug came out there, and I told, and Larry said, tell Doug what you just told me. And I told Doug Hensley what I told him, and he was shocked, of all people, me, telling him
that it happened to you.
Yeah. And he went in and got his book, and he had his book outside, and he said, now I'm going to open this book to a page where there's a bunch of pictures in it, point somebody out that someone looks like who you saw in the bathroom. Well, when he opened the book to that page, it was like that face came right out of that book. I mean, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like it just came right out of that book, and I just knocked it out of his hands and told him to get it away from me.
Who was it?
Alonzo Walling. And he was hung.
One of the two men.
One of the two men that were hung here for, he was a Satan worshiper, and allegedly, you know, he's beheaded Pearl O'Brien here and used her head for satanic worship.
They died on the gallows, never admitting
that they never would reveal where Pearl O'Brien's head was at, because her head has never been found. And on the gallows, after this all occurred, Doug Hensley brought it to my attention. You know, I was saying, you know, there's Alonzo Walling, Scott Jackson, the judge, and there's a preacher holding the Bible in his hands. The preacher's up there saying his last words. My body structure, my facial structure, I resemble that preacher a lot. I don't know if it's because they thought I might have been the preacher, or because I made fun so much, made jokes, and ribbed them and ridiculed it and everything like that. I have no clue. I just know it.
But even you felt like it looked like you.
Yes, yes. And I mean, I know that there's no way that anything can be done to me. I mean, the evil can joke with you, tease you, kind of, and how I'm trying to think of the word here, try to influence you to do things, but even though you can't, they can't get you, because I'm a saved soul.
Rich, did you bring suit against Bobby after the incident?
Yes, that's another thing, Alana. After this occurred, and Bobby had just gotten here, and he was behind the sound booth, and he was like, what's going on with the paramedics out in front of my nightclub and everything like that? And I went right directly to Bobby, and I said, Bobby, this is what has happened. It's really true. This place is haunted, the spooks, ghosts, whatever you want to call it. I said, you need to do something for to secure yourself and your country music fans in this nightclub. And he looked at me and laughed, and then joked, and he made me mad. He insulted me beyond high heaven, and I said, you're not going to do nothing? I'll see it gets done. And I went down to the courts and I filed suit. I didn't want no money from Bobby. Bobby's a friend. He's country music heart friend. And I didn't want no money from Bobby. I just wanted him to get a preacher in here and rid the evil of this premises. Is all I want.
How do you feel now? Do you feel like that's taking place when you come in, Rich? Do you feel like there's still something here?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there's new people come in here that don't they're just probably just like I felt when I walked in here. It's a joke, you know, and they make fun, they tease, and they may not see things that are unusually happening to them or in this atmosphere altogether. And from what I understand, that I set precedence of taking Bobby Mackey to court about the ghosts and spirits like that. But there is, I have learned from CNN, this was on CNN prior to this, my taking Bobby to court about a spirit, that a lady in Wisconsin took a landlord to court for renting an apartment or a home and not telling her that it was haunted, and she won in court. She got her money, all her money back that she had paid in rent. But when I went to court with Bobby Mackey's lawyer and the judge are saying, hey, the ghosts are not Bobby's employees, so Bobby's not responsible for them. They're telling me, hey, we're not telling you it's not haunted. We're telling you they're not employees of Bobby, so he's not responsible.
I see. Rich, thank you for coming out and being with us and sharing this story. You've just heard from Rich Lawson. We are talking now with Donna Clark. Donna is Bobby Mackey's bartender here at the club. Donna, welcome to the program. How long have you been working for Bobby?
It'll be almost 11 years.
Almost 11 years, long time. You like your job?
I love it.
Donna, tell me, has anything ever happened to you here in the club personally?
Yes. Well, my first experience with the club, I wasn't working here at the time. But my ex-husband was, and he used to do all the equipment for Bobby, like if the basketball machine and stuff broke down, he would fix it. So I came in one afternoon and brought his lunch to him. And the jukebox started playing. And I asked him, I said, what are you playing on the jukebox? He says, Donna, I'm not playing it. He said, it's unplugged.
Oh my gosh.
So I walked over there and I looked and it was unplugged, but the wheel was spinning like it was playing, and the song wasn't even on the jukebox.
Oh my gosh.
So after I heard that, I left, and then I started working here a week after.
You started bartending?
No, I waitressed first, and then I've been a bartender for probably about 4 or 5 months.
Donna, let me ask you this. In your bartending experience, have people come to you and said, I saw this or something strange happened to me here? Have you had reports through the years
Yes.
of different things happening?
Yes, I have.
And the people sometimes are not willing to be associated with it. They want you to know, but they don't want anyone else to know.
Right, because they don't want people to think that they're crazy.
Mm-hmm. Anything else after the jukebox experience, Donna?
Yes, I've had an experience in the bathroom. I walked in the bathroom, and the water came on by itself, so I went over and I turned it off, and I turned around to go into the bathroom. The water came back on again, and then all 3 commodes just started flushing. 1, 2, 3 in a row. I turned the water back off. I didn't even go to the bathroom. I went back out.
You left it. Now, did that make you feel, do you feel strange? Do you feel frightened? How do you feel when something like this happens and there's no one there?
It's kind of scary, but I try to just overlook it and just go on because it's my job here, and I'm in here a lot of times by myself.
And are you, when you come in alone, are you expecting anything, or do you feel okay about it?
Well, I feel okay about it, but since In Search Of has been here, I've found out a lot more things about the club.
Like what? Like what? Tell us about when In Search Of. That will air in October, I think. Doug Hensley said later on this month on Fox 19. Go ahead and tell us what happened while In Search Of was here. What did you learn?
Well, I went into the bathroom to use the bathroom, and there was this smell in there that about choked me. And I had my fiance, and...
The smell of what? A scent, a good smell, a bad smell?
It was the smell of a rose, but it was real powerful. And so I had Carl Lawson and my fiance to go in to see what they thought it was. And they come back out and they said, it's a rose smell. And I said, well, I've had the smell before, but this was real, real powerful.
And so the rose smell, I think we talked about earlier, was associated, isn't that the fragrance of Johanna's perfume,
Yes.
the dance hall girl?
So I just, thought, well, something's going to happen here before the day's over. And it was scary. So now when I come in, I just kind of peek around and just hurry up and get the lights on.
You're a brave lady, Donna, for coming in at all alone. And you've just heard from Donna Clark.
Okay.
We are talking now with Ruby Wiley. Welcome to the program, Ruby.
Thank you.
Ruby called me after our first broadcast, and she wanted to make sure that if we ever came back to Bobby Mackey's that she was included, because Ruby saw something here at the club that she never ever forgot in many, many years. So Ruby, go back to when you were a little girl and tell us about that day and all about your story.
Well, I was 7 and my sister was 8, and we lived the second road up the hill from Bobby Mackey's. Across from then, at that time, was Andrew Steele. My father worked there from the day I was a year old. We moved here from Pendleton County. And my sister and I always attended the movie theater on 11th Street, which is now part of Trout Dairy. And we were assumed it was going to be a double feature, and my father was coming to pick us up. But because it wasn't a double feature, it ended early, and we were always taught to hold hands when we were walking. So we started walking knowing our father would pick us up on the way. And walking past Bobby Mackey